Hello? I've just been in an accident. I think my face is gashed open. Okay.
My name is Keisha Jackson. Welcome to my channel, and it's Tuesday, which means it's True Crime Tuesday. If you like what I do, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because it truly helps me move on up in this world.
What are you guys doing for Halloween?
I'm going to my mom's cousin's place.
What are you going to do for his face?
I think John and I are going as Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh my gosh, that's
How
so
cool is that?
Yeah. What also is a cool thing?
What about SpongeBob SquarePants and his squirrel girlfriend?
You could always go as the corpse bride.
Right? But how long would that take?
Because Jono's got the hair.
He does. But Jono would have been perfect as Gomez.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Totally.
But it's fine.
Yeah, he would have been.
He would have been like the best Gomez in the world.
So let's talk about this. Are we talking about this Gabriel Fernandez case?
You can totes get into it. I was disappointed.
When did you watch it?
I watched it on, I think it was Friday night or Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Saturday night because I was at work, right? My mom was like, you gotta watch this Gabriel story. So I came home and I watched it. And then I binge watched it. So I watched the whole series in like one night.
So did I.
By the 7th episode, I was like crying.
Because it's so sad what these people can do to a kid.
I just think the system failed him.
And do you think it's because he's like Latino? Because he's mixed race?
No, I think it's because the social workers just refused to do their duties correctly.
And they went there so many times.
Many times, and they just took the mom's word for it. Even
the cops went there, didn't they?
The sheriff's department. Like, that makes it even worse for me because it's just... And then you're just taking a mom's word for it. Like, obviously, if she's abusing her kid, she's going to be like, yo, he's fine. Writing suicide letters. The teacher's asking the mom the questions. Like, no, you should be asking the kid.
So it all started off when he was born. Like, the parents didn't want him.
Yes, she was not into it because the dad was in prison.
Yeah.
Right? So he really didn't have
the means to support.
Yeah. Or a say in what happened.
And then he gets born and then his uncle takes care of him for a while.
Yeah, because the mom called.
To say that she can't do this.
Yeah, she called and she said, come fetch your kid.
And didn't she want to put him in foster care? And then the uncle was like, no, don't do that. Yes, we will take care of him.
Keep him in the family.
Yeah. And then the uncle took care of him for a while.
Yeah, the uncle and the uncle's partner.
And the uncle was so happy because they always wanted children. So then they were basically like, they didn't adopt him, but they just took care of him as if he was their own kids.
They kind of fostered him.
Yeah. And then he was 6 years old, somewhere around there, when the mother was like, hey, I want my child back. Yeah, and then the uncle's partner got deported. Yes. I think back to Mexico. And the uncle was really sick. How does your mouth feel? Stuck. I can't laugh.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then so the mom takes the kid back.
No, doesn't he go to his grand for a while first?
Yeah, he does.
I think he goes to his grand first.
I remember him being with his grandparents.
Yeah.
Because the mother was unfit to support the kid. Yes. Because she didn't have a job and whatever the case may be. And then they were like, the grandfather was like, we don't want Gabriel to grow up with a gay family. And be in that situation because it's like against their culture.
And it was like back when being gay and having kids weren't normalized.
Yeah, it was like taboo. Yeah, and then the mom took Gabriel back at like the age of 6. Yes. I think it was 6 years old. 5 or 6.
And she took all her kids back.
And she took all of her kids back.
She took all 3 of her kids back.
Including the older brother and older sister.
He was severely abused for 8 months, right?
Yeah.
Because then she got
But wasn't it about the boyfriend?
She got the boyfriend.
It was the boyfriend. Oh yeah, because she was really close at one point with Gabriel. Yes. And he was like kind of getting like jealous tendencies.
Yes, he was a jealous Do you think that only he deserved the death penalty?
No, of course
she did. I think she should have been tried first, eh?
I think so too. Because she knew about it.
She knew.
And she was an abuser.
Doing that exactly. As well.
So it all started off like when Gabriel then went to his mom. It all started off with this boyfriend being really jealous.
Yes.
And it was like a smack here and there.
Yeah. It was like not how they described it was like a punch here and there.
Yeah.
Right? And then it became worse with
then
locking in the cupboard
and then Gabriel went to school with bruises on his face and on his arms and whatever.
And the cigarette holes.
Burns on his head. And then when the teacher asked him what was going on, he was like, no, nothing, I fell.
Yeah.
He was just like giving
the older
excuses.
kids in the neighborhood beat me up.
Yeah, and then, so he lied about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teacher didn't think anything of it at first because she was like, oh.
She was like, but she called the mom in. She called that woman in. And she was like, this is the story he's giving me. And the mom was like, oh, it's totally true.
And then he goes home and he gets into. It's fine. And he gets into trouble for telling the teacher what is going on. So then he got beat up more.
And then pepper sprayed. Do you remember the fucking pepper spray in the bath? That was the worst.
So
we were talking about
Gabriel
pepper spray.
Yeah, Gabriel gets abused because he told the teacher that he was getting beaten up by some kids or he fell or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were basically threatening him to say, don't ever say it again or worse will happen to you. And then that's when like the boyfriend got even more angry. And if Gabriel didn't like wash the dishes or if he like broke a glass by accident or whatever, they would like put him in the cupboard.
That cupboard was tiny, hey?
It was so tiny.
That cupboard was like as big as my poof. Like my Marilyn Monroe poof. You know that?
Ottoman. After he got thrown into the cupboard.
He just stayed there and then they would handcuff him.
So that he wouldn't run away.
Yeah, and put a bandana over his face.
So that he couldn't see.
And then they would feed him the cat litter.
But why cat litter out of all things?
Do you know why? His mother held her cats like at a high standard. Like the detective said when the police got there and the emergency services got there, she was more worried about where they were taking her cats than getting in the ambulance with her son.
So yeah, then eventually Gabriel had to go back to school.
Yeah, and he went all like black-eyed.
And he went, all black-eyed.
Shaved head, hardly even properly shaved.
And then he was doing like really bad in school.
And he was super, super thin.
So, yeah, and then he went back to school and then that's when he had all the cigarette burn marks on his face, on like the top of his head and whatever.
And some of them were new, like from the morning time, and some of them were like healing already.
The teacher said, what is going on? And he said nothing.
Yeah, he just kept denying.
Yeah,
I would have as well because I'd be so scared.
Wasn't he saying that he self-inflicted like injury or I can't remember.
Apparently it went about the whole fact that he was suicidal.
Yeah.
And he was trying to hurt himself because he wanted to go back to his grandmother.
Yes.
And that's the same excuse that the mom used.
And then that's when the teacher was like, well, something's happening at home. So that's when she called
social services. CPS
and and then social services went over that afternoon when Gabriel went home. And Gabriel was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Because he was locked in the cupboard once he had gotten home.
And they said that, his mom said that he was out playing with the neighborhood kids.
Yes. And then they didn't even ask if they can go inside.
No, they didn't.
Because they would have noticed, like, certain things in the house if they had just walked inside.
Just been, like,
so then, after that, they, like, left. So, after that first visit from the CPS, for social...
She marked it off. I think it was the woman.
Yeah,
she marked it off.
She said everything was okay.
Yeah.
And then Gabriel missed school for a while, and then he came back
like for a whole month or something.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm just gonna say this
with even like worse marks on him.
Yeah.
And so she called Social Security again and said, "Have you been to the house? Is everything okay?" And then that's when they said, "Yes, we have been to the house." And she said, "Well, I don't think something's okay because he's not at school."
He hasn't been at school for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they were like, "Okay, well, we'll just make sure and we'll go look again."
Yeah, and then they sent a different one.
And then they sent a different Okie.
Yeah.
And then the Okie also didn't go inside. He just asked them a couple of questions. Again, Gabriel was nowhere to be seen. And this time it was
he asked the boyfriend the questions.
And they also got a little bit of a saying, or whatever you want to call it, from the kids as well. The two older kids.
Yes.
And they were threatened, like, behind the scenes to, like, if anything happens or if you say anything about Gabriel, we'll do the same to you about Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
So then when the guy said, "Okay, well, can we talk to the other kids if Gabriel's not here and playing with other kids?" Then the two kids came in, the brother and the sister came in and said...
And they, like, sort of vouched for the parents.
And they vouched for the parents. Gabriel, like, got out for some time and then wanted to play with his sister. And because he was just, like, hurt and everything, his sister's friends thought it was so weird that he was, like, that he looked different.
Yeah.
And he, like, looked broken and damaged and whatever. So they were like, "We don't want to hang out with your brother." So then she said, "Okay, well, then I won't hang out with my brother."
Yeah, and she, like, shunned him.
Yeah. He threw a temper tantrum because they couldn't play together.
Yeah.
And then that's when the parents decided to do it again.
I think they would look for any excuse.
Yeah.
In all honesty. And then she went to go pick up a grant. I remember this part, like, super vividly because she went to go pick this grant up at the grants office. And then Gabriel sort of gave the security guard there a sign that something was up.
Yes.
And then the people at the grants office were like, "Don't mess with this. It's not your job." But
and it was still that one guy. That one guy was like, "Something's wrong."
Yes.
Because he asked the boy to blink or something.
Yes.
If something was wrong, and he did. And then that's when they called the sheriff.
That's when they called the sheriff's department, and the sheriffs went there once again. They didn't go inside, check the living conditions. They didn't make an effort. That's why I think the system was just... And then it got so bad that one night.
Yeah, and then that one night was the last night.
Yeah, and the way it happened, allegedly, the mom had said to him, or he said to the mom, "I don't want you to be with this guy."
Yeah.
And then...
Because he hurts me.
The guy confronted him, and Gabriel said, "No, you're lying," and that's what
set him off.
Yeah. And do you think something so... Even if that was the truth, something so small.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're mad. How does your face feel? Great, eh?
Feels stuck.
It comes off with water.
Okay.
Water.
Yeah, and then they deemed it out to be an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called 911 and whatever.
Yeah, and on the 911 call, he said that he referred to him as his son. "My son isn't breathing." Because he fell in the bathtub.
And then, wasn't it when the cops got there, or when, like, the ambulance got there and whatever, either the son or the daughter was standing outside?
The son was outside at, like, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And in a dangerous area.
Yeah. And then they found that really suspicious. And then that's when they started actually asking, like, questions and whatever.
And that's when she was getting defensive. The detective said her demeanor was very...
Defensive.
Yeah, no. Nonchalant.
Alright.
It was just like, yeah, whatever.
And then the two kids first lied about what had happened because they didn't want
anything to come out.
Anything to happen to them because they knew because they knew how Gabriel was treated.
Are you nervous?
But you have scissors to my face. Of course I'm nervous.
You must trust me. Shame. Poor kid. Fuck.
Yeah.
I cried to crocodile tears.
Yeah. And then eventually the truth came out from the kids of what they were doing.
Yes. But the ER nurse also said she knew that by all of his injuries,
that something had
this wasn't an accidental death.
In the conviction, the
At
boyfriend gets like the death penalty.
Yeah, he gets the death penalty because the DA's attorney, so the district attorney, she was just not having it and she pushed for death. And you know, for a while it was a hung jury.
Really?
Yeah. There was one juror that was like, he said it wasn't premeditated.
Maybe he was paid.
I don't know. At the end of it, he decided to go with the flow.
It was that old guy, hey?
Yeah, this old Chinese guy. Let's get some brows.
Regardless of whether it was done that evening or planned before, so premeditated can be like, you knew eventually that kid would die.
Now I'm going to cut Katie's face open.
Oh, okay. You want to do this side?
Yeah.
Show it for the world.
Are you nervous at all?
No, not really.
Someone was phoning me. How does it feel when I do this? Oh my word. But it feels like I'm cutting your skin open. Am I on your skin?
No.
Next to your skin. Friend, it's so weird. You have to do this to me one day. It feels like I'm literally cutting your mouth over. Oh yeah.
It's gonna look worse when the blood is in.
Oh yeah, look at this. Oh. What happened to your face?
You need to do this side.
Yes, I need to finish that side.
Can you watch my face, not the camera, please?
Sorry, but I'm next to your skin, hey? Ew, and the tissue paper has given like little bullies. Like little bumps. I do all 17,000 zombies on A Walking Dead.
Ew. No shit, Sherlock.
I wish I did. That was my dream, you know. But it's such a tough industry to break into here in South Africa.
Did you just do my cheeks? You didn't do my face?
No, not yet. It's not dry enough. It's not crispy enough. Okay, this is looking fantalla. What do you think? I'm asking people like they're going to answer me immediately.
What do you think? Because I can't see because I don't have glasses on.
So it's weird, rough, eh? It's rough. We're rough and toughing it here. Okay, now I've got to add some black in to make it look like... I saw this one chick do it, and she put like little fake maggots on her face. Oh. Yeah, like the tiny little baby ones.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's so gross. They smell so bad.
Do they?
Yeah. It's horrendous.
I don't understand how you'd know the smell of a maggot.
Have you never had maggots in your house?
No. I've had them out my house.
It's when there's lots of flies. Because I used to stay on like a farm area not too long ago.
Yes.
And then, like, there's lots of flies. So when there's lots of flies, that
there's
means
lots
of
maggots. And it's like you can keep your house as clean as you want. They're going to come for your garbage.
They're going to come for your garbage.
Your garbage. I've had them outside before, but never in my home. But we also don't get a lot of flies up here. I guess because we're quite high up. Do you love your house though?
I do.
Your house is great.
Beautiful.
Let's put some of this on. It's not as dark as I wanted it to be. You smell that?
That was hectic.
I got all this stuff at Evermore.
Really?
Except my trusty wood glue. That I got at P&A. They had liquid latex there. Can I explain to you how much it costs? $600. No, it was a lot. And Jonna was like, yo, let me just get it. And I was like, no, are you mad in your head?
So what happened in this crime scene?
This one.
This one that you're creating.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know, you did something you always wanted to do, like kill someone and then made you laugh so hard that it tore your whole mouth. Next time I do this though, I'm gonna do it with cotton wool to make it look like your skin's like stringy.
Oh yeah. But how good is that How to Get Away with Murder show?
Oh, it's legit my favorite. I watched it 3 times from the start already.
Really?
Yes.
I'm at the part, spoiler alert.
Okay.
I'm at the part where, do you hear my stomach?
Yeah, are you hungry? I have milk top, that's all I have. Do you want a slice?
Of course.
Okay, we'll get one for you.
We'll have it as a reward after doing this. So I'm at the part where I'm on season 3.
Oh yeah.
This is where Annalise is getting like those posters put on the university board
about
saying killer.
She's...
And then you basically find out that Laurel is pregnant. But I don't know who the dad is yet.
I know who the dad is.
Is it Frank?
It's Wes.
What?
Did I ruin everything?
No
for
way.
You? It's Wes.
Is he the one that dies?
He's the dad.
No, but is he the one that dies in the fire?
Yeah, he's the dad of the baby.
Is he the one that dies in the fire?
You just said I mustn't tell you.
Because Annalise like cries really badly.
Yeah, it's Wes.
Are you being serious?
I'm being 100% serious.
No way.
And it's Laurel's dad who did all of that.
Wait, did she think that it was Frank? I love spoilers. Did she think
yeah,
it was
she
Frank?
thought it was Frank.
I can't believe that Wes dies.
Wes? Oh, look at Kay's skin.
Oh! Looks like I got like scratched by barbed wire.
Right?
How cool would that actually be as like a little feature piece on you? Like barbed wire. Like if you're going to a thing. You put barbed wire
yes!
I kind of saw that coming.
Mm.
Yeah, because now I'm at that stage where Bonnie and him are like in the hotel room together. When she like finds where Frank is. With a beard, he's cool.
He's very cool with a beard.
And then, I don't know, he like becomes Prison Break 101. Like when he shows off his beard and his hair. I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot?
It's just gross.
But he looks so different. Like I honestly thought they chose a different actor for him. But just the storyline, like with How to Get Away with Murder, it's like, it's so well done.
It is well done.
Like you never predict who does anything.
The person who produced it is
Viola
Davis is so smart.
They literally thought of each season like beforehand.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's based on a book.
I wonder. I have never seen one.
Have you seen the Netflix series The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann?
So before I switch the camera off, you were talking about Madeleine.
So Madeleine McCann's case on Netflix is The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann.
That's crazy.
And the whole thing was that like the family went to Portugal in 2007.
Mm-hmm. I watched it a long time ago, so I remember zero facts.
So like the documentary was on YouTube, and then like they did an actual documentary on Netflix, like a proper like an updated one.
Yes, like a proper filmmaker went in.
So the whole thing was that the family and friends went with their children to Portugal to like a specific restaurant and
a UK
and hotel.
family, right?
A UK family.
So they went to a resort.
So they went to a resort in Portugal. One evening, like they were there for quite some time, and then one evening they all decided, like all the parents decided that they were going to go to the restaurant. The restaurant was like over here, and then there were like trees and walls, and then there was the hotel. So they actually had to walk outside and then go into the hotel room.
Okay, so it wasn't in seeing distance.
No,
it
wasn't.
Room.
Then like one parent would go in like after some time, and then go and say, okay, cool, the kids are okay. So they'd go and check on the kids, and then they'd come back, and then like the next hour, the next parent would go and then come back in. I can't remember which one of the family members went in or the friends went in. So one of them decided to go and do their rotation. And then they saw that the window to Madeleine and the twins' room was in.
Oh because she wasn't an only child, eh?
I can't remember if it was the twins of Madeleine or if it was the twins of the other, like one of the other friends or family. But they were in the same room and they were untouched and Madeleine was gone. And then this whole thing was like one of the journalists was the guy that took Madeleine, and it was like based on human trafficking because they felt, because that's when like human trafficking became a huge thing.
And in things for the criminals.
Yeah. Eventually, the journalist, I think he was a journalist or reporter, whatever. Eventually, they figured out that he like wasn't part of this whole thing, and then there was this whole conspiracy that the parents were in on this whole, like the whole disappearance of their child.
But I kind of feel like they might be, because didn't they release photos of her as well after they were told not to?
Yes, so they released photos. And then they had like this press release to say that, look, we did this because all we want to do is just find our daughter and whatever. And they were getting money, like funds, to like support all the search people, like everybody that, I don't know what you call them, but all the people that went to go and search, and all the investigation between all the countries, like they were...
Because they're from the UK, right?
They were from the UK, yeah. This whole thing became like a conspiracy that they were behind it. But then there was never like evidence to show that this is where she was. Now, watching 60 Minutes like a week ago, they found new evidence to show that there was this like child rapist and serial killer like living a kilometer away from the hotel.
No. Yeah. Do you think he was the strange man carrying this kid?
Yes.
So they really might have had nothing to do with it.
And the description that they gave of this man matched his. Somewhere along the line, one of his friends, one of this guy, I can't remember what his name is now. I think it's Christian Brucker or something. One of his friends was told to...
Oh, it's weird, eh?
Wow. Yeah, it looks like I've smashed my head against like the windscreen. Right. Or like my window.
What a sight. Yeah. Please continue. I find this very interesting.
So this Christian Brucker told one of his friends to take all of his computers and like all of his stuff and like put it in some storage space. They eventually found this and found over 8,000 photos and videos of kids, like pornography and like torture and all of that.
Like a child porn syndicate.
I can't remember if he's on the loose. I think he is, because they can't find him because he hasn't been arrested.
So shame, this poor kid is probably not alive.
So this kid is probably not alive.
Or she's like older and like still in this terrible lifestyle.
You never know. But but not only did he rape children, he raped a 74-year-old woman. So he goes like from one extreme to the other. This Christian Brucker, I think his name is Christian Brucker. So, and they don't want to release on TV. They don't want to say anything about the evidence because that 60 Minutes woman, I can't remember what her name is, but she said, is there evidence?
Isn't it Lisa something?
I don't know.
Must be Lisa.
So she asked the guy, the investigator and the profiler, like, is there evidence of Madeleine McCann on these computers?
Yeah.
And he's like, he answered in a way, something like, we cannot answer that question.
Oh. Yes, there is definitely evidence of this kid.
Right? So, I mean, after what has it been now? Since 2000, so 12, 13 years.
She's like a teenager.
She would have been a teenager. If she's still alive.
Yeah, the positive part of it.
So we might actually hear about, like, the whole thing really soon. Hello? I've just been in an accident. I think my face is gashed open. Okay.
True Crime Tuesdays. They're gonna sign us to Capitol Records. I'm telling you.
What?
Our singing career is just gonna blow up.
Oh my gosh.
Like, legitimately.
Okay.
Look, we spoke about a little bit of true crime.
Yeah.
Just like this much.
Just this much.
And it's also fun.
And a few cases. You won't only get one case today, but 3.
Multiple.
I think it's 3. So we wanted to speak about multiple cases. And we spoke about 2, just short little snippets. Go watch them on Netflix. And then...
And 60 Minutes.
And 60 Minutes.
Australia.
Yeah, 60 Minutes Australia. And we spoke about a really good crime series to go watch.
Yes. It's very not for sensitive viewers.
No.
By the way. Just by the bar. I'll list all the products in the description box down below. I'll also list all of Kay's social media links so that you can check her stuff out.
And my YouTube channel.
Yes, I was going to say that. If you gave me a minute.
Okay,
also the link to Katie's YouTube channel. She also does some good videos on fitness, vegan health, right?
Yeah.
Moving. You did a herbivore thing.
Moving. Yeah.
Yeah, you did do a herbivore thing, right?
Herbivore.
She still needs to film her new home.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many videos. I'm trying to think back to a year
I
ago.
literally just I record everything and anything.
Yes.
But mainly my channel is going to be about how beautiful South Africa is, and we shouldn't forget that no matter what we go through. And everything will be better.
Or what's happening in South Africa.
Or what's happening in South Africa.
It also irritates me like the grass isn't always green on the other side, right?
No, it's not.
I'll link everything that needs to be linked in the description box down below. I hope you guys have a great week. Kaylee's face looks bashed to shit.
Windscreen. Wear your safety belt.
Turn around for this way. This way. Other way. Oh my word. It's super easy for Halloween.
Well done, Keisha.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me and sitting down with me. I appreciate you coming all the way from your home.
And cutting my face up.
I did cut your face up. If kids are going to do this, please have an adult
nearby
present.
Or doing it
for you. Do it for you. That would be better than you doing it yourself. But other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Kay won't be here, unfortunately, but she will be on her own. Goodbye.
Bye.